Going back to school can be such a stressful time for kids and parents and the rest of the family. Starting a new school year can make kids nervous, especially if there will be changes from the previous year, like a new school, new teachers, new grades, perhaps even new friends. So that all can contribute to the anxiety that children will experience when it's time to go back to school. So joining me on the line is a parenting specialist, Timan Esterhazen, to chat to us and give us tips on how to help our kids cope with the anxiety of going back to school. Timan, good morning.
Good morning. It's lovely to be back.
Thank you for joining me once again. All right. So first of all, why do kids feel anxious about going back to school when the new year kicks in?
Yeah, I think everything is new, and mostly humans don't like new, depending on which kind of new, but, it's new friends, a new teacher, a new grade, obviously. So everything is new, and everything that they've now built up in the last year is now going to change. So that does bring around anxiety in children and us adults, I think.
Does separation anxiety or going back to school anxiety have anything to do with the child's behavior or the way the parent parents?
No, I think it could be, but I think in these times that we are in right now, it could be more. They've been with the parents for so long. It's been a long holiday. It's been an extended holiday, if I can call it that. And now, especially, I homeschool, and my eldest has separation anxiety, but I think he just loves being with his mom, But he doesn't like, being away from us. But I think it's all to do with they've had the chance to spend so much time with parents over the last couple of months, and now they're going to have to be away from the parents for a big chunk of their day. So, yeah.
Sometimes the anxiety can come from parents, parents feeling anxious and they project this onto their kids, especially with the pandemic and the second variant of the virus. So, what can parents do to ease their own anxiety and not project it onto their kids?
That's very good. It definitely, children do pick up on the anxiety that us as parents carry. They also listen very closely to when we speak. So if you are speaking to your husband or your wife or your partner, and you're saying things like, oh, you're talking about the virus, etc., that does create anxiety in them. So I think if you do need to speak or talk about things that create anxiety within you, keep it separate from the children. Because if they hear that, that's going to build up anxiety within them as well, obviously. So if there's something that's bothering you, rather keep it separate and speak to your husband, etc., or wife separate from the children about it, rather than doing it in front of them, because that will obviously stir up some more emotions.
All right. So, and how can we help kids cope with the anxiety of going back to school? What tips do you have?
Okay, wonderful. So obviously for us as parents, it's very, very important to have a solid foundation, and for our children to have a solid foundation. So for me, you need to make sure that your children know who they are. That is very important, because they need to always be able to fall back on who they are. We always remind our boys as well, why are you acting like this? Because this is not who you are. Who are you, So they remind them who they are, and what you as a family stand for. Make your foundation really strong, so that they always know that they cannot be shaken regardless of what is going on around them and in the world, that they know they have a solid foundation. And also, I think, make them involved when you are preparing for school. Get them to go with you to buy the stationery, get them to mark the stationery with you, and build up an excitement rather than an anxiety, and get them to choose their own bag or their own lunchbox, etc., and let them help you prepare their lunchboxes, etc. So just so that they are involved in the process, and also talk about school often, to get them used to the fact that now they're going to be away from their parents for a long time of the day, and also they're going to be with other people. So communication is very, very important so that they know this is what is going to happen today. And also for me, proactive parenting is way better than reactive parenting. So we are preparing them up front, and and rather talk too much than too little, so that don't let something be a surprise for them. Rather prepare them for that beforehand, and then they go, oh, we spoke about this. Mommy told me that we're going to have a break time and we're going to sit with our friends and have lunch, etc. And it's going to look different because now with what's happening around the world. So just so that they are prepared mentally for it, that it doesn't come as a surprise when they do come to school and it looks different.
Mm-hmm. When would it be a good idea to start with the back to school transition?
As in with preparing them verbally for school? Yeah, I think, when does the school start next week? On Monday, I think? Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Sorry, as I say, I homeschool, so we've started. As soon as possible, I think. And then also every day you can condition it into them. Even make a little calendar to make them excited about starting school. So do a little a 5 or 6 day calendar and say, in 6 days we're going to start a school. So today this is what we're going to do. Today we're going to maybe sort out your uniform. Tomorrow we're going to sort out your stationery, and get them all excited. Let it be a build up, and not just like one day, oh, congratulations, tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, you have to wake up and you're going to go to school, So let it be a build up. And as I say, make them involved in the process of getting ready for school, and start today.
Mm-hmm. And what if you're in a situation whereby your kid gets excited about going to school, and then all of a sudden they get to the school gate and they do not want to know anything about going inside there?
Oh, that's actually so funny, because I've had 2 clients in this week that have messaged me and said, my child, they were so excited, but now what do I do? They don't want to go back to school. You know what, as I say, it's all about just making sure that you always speak the truth. I mean, it's very important for me, for parents to speak the truth to their children. So don't tell them, I'm going to be back in like 10 minutes, so I'll pick you up, So don't lie to them, and always be, just speak the truth, and make sure that they understand that this is something that needs to happen. You're going to be, you're going to school to learn, and that helps your brain, your muscle to grow, as well as your other muscles, because you're going to be doing some sport, etc. So just get them all, pumped up. But when they do reach, you can kind of just grab them, give them some love, always show them love and empathy. I understand that you might be scared or you might be anxious about this day, but it's going to be so much fun. And I know that you're going to be having fun. And I know you better than you know yourself. And I always tell my boys, I know you better than yourself, because you were inside my tummy and you've been around me for so long. And I know that you're going to have an amazing time. And it often happens that when they're so nervous to go, when you pick them up, they go, I had the best day. Oh, I had the best time. So just encourage them, and also show empathy. I know you're nervous about today, but it's going to go amazing. And I know it's going to be lovely.
Mm-hmm. So when you drop off your kids at school, should you just drop and run away, or you should take them to the class and comfort them, make them feel comfortable in the new environment, if it's a new school or a new setup? Or what should we do as parents?
So, it all depends on the age of the child, as well as what the rules are now, because I'm not quite sure if you're allowed to, even because some schools say that you can only drop them off at the gate. Some, so it really depends on the school. Ideally, it would be fantastic if the child was a toddler and younger, that you would be able to spend some time with them in the classroom, maybe build a puzzle, get them comfortable, show them where their bag goes, put their little apron on, and get them all relaxed. So that would be ideal for you to be able to spend. I know from grade 1, they don't really, grade 1, they allow you to go in the first day, you can see their desk, etc. So it would be ideal if you could spend a little bit of time with them, or just at least walk them in. Otherwise, with now, maybe it would be a lovely time to, on your way to school, maybe stop for parents as a cough for a coffee and the child for a little baby chino or a little, hot chocolate on your way, and prepare them that way to be able to spend some more time with them one-on-one, and then prepare them, conditioning into them what's going to happen today, and then releasing them into the gate if they're not allowed to go in.
Mm-hmm. And now we're living in what everyone is calling the new normal. So we have the situation with masks and sanitizers and stuff. And I mean, we don't want to scare our kids when it comes to them wearing masks and them taking the masks off and sharing the mask with their friends. But then, how do we do it in a nice way? You don't want kids are kids. They're going to want to share their stuff with their friends. But then you also don't want them to put themselves in a situation whereby they might contract the virus.
That is so true. And it is, the new normal, which none of us like. I don't think any of us have looked last year this time would say that this is where we would be. But unfortunately, it is something that we need to discuss with our children. It is a talk that we need to have. And I've seen on the market a bunch of beautiful books that you can actually buy and explain the virus to the children, and tell them that, you need to wash your hands and wear your mask, etc. And I think it's a discussion that we need to have, and we need to make it as upbeat and as happy as possible, rather than to make it sad and depressing to the children, but rather say, we need you to wear your mask. We don't want you to get sick, and regardless of so you can get them, so even with wearing a mask, you can get them to choose their own mask with characters on, etc., if the school will allow it. But it is very important to have that discussion, unfortunately, with them, to say that, this is what can happen, and for them to be open to it, but you also don't want to scare them. So what we do with our children is also have that one family that that are comfortable, that are careful, that wear their masks, that don't go out, that do social distancing, and still have your children to have that one-on-one time within your house, if that makes sense, and not have to wear a mask all the time, or within your area. So a play date outside, where they can freely play, not be in each other's faces, but still have that time to play or to be social with a friend, rather than having to force them to wear a mask the whole day,
Timan, we need to take a break, but before we go, I have a question here from WhatsApp, and I'd like you to think about it. What if you had a death in the family due to COVID-19 and your child knows about it? What do you do then in that situation? Because that obviously could amp up the anxiety. Think about that, and we'll continue when we return.
To you live from South Africa.
Kiki's, the taste with a kick. Our revamped exclusive restaurant and takeaway now opened. Kiki's strives to serve you and your family with a wide variety of delicious meals. Enjoy our famous chicken, shish, burgers, pasta, pizza, and many more weekly in-store specials. We offer Friday buffet and Brightpit with a difference. We cater for corporate functions, velimas, and events. Purja facilities provided. Our exciting competition gourmet menu and new menu to be released at our launch. Visit Kiki's at 235 Matthews Mayiwe Road, Old Stemford Hill Road, Durban. Call 031-209-0119. Kiki's, the taste with a kick.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Freedom Stationery supply Marlin and Marlin Kids pens to me and my school friends. They supply just about everything we need to help us get a better education. from books to files to rulers. In fact, any any accessory we need. Freedom Stationery. Education for the nation. What does accessory mean?
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
It is 11:21. You are listening to the Mari Mokwanda Show on Salam Media. And on today's parenting segment, I'm chatting to a parenting specialist from Munchkins, Timan Esterhazen, and we are talking about coping with back-to-school anxiety. Timan, thank you for staying on the line. Now, just to repeat the question from WhatsApp in case our other listeners didn't get it. What if you had a death in the family due to COVID-19 and your child knows about it? What do you do then?
So that is a very tough question. But yeah, it is real, and it is obviously, it has happened. And for me, I mean, obviously, so we need to communicate the strictness of having social distancing in our families. We need to explain to the children about the masks wearing and about the sanitizing, etc. And then with that being said, not create an anxiety within them. So if there was a death in the family, I definitely would, you need to address it and say, you know, it wasn't even their fault. So you can't say, oh, they weren't wearing a mask. You need to address it to say that, you know, we need to do all of these things that can prevent us from catching the virus. But sometimes it happens, you know, that people do contract the virus. But then also say to them, but people do also pass away in other ways as well, if that makes sense. So they can't only think that people only pass away from COVID, if that makes sense. So say to them, you know, that there is a time in life that some of us pass away. So we need, you know, it's a difficult situation, but you need to explain to them and say that people pass away from old age, people pass away from heart attacks as well. And it won't, you know, you won't only pass away from COVID, if that makes sense, you know. So prepare their little hearts for that, yeah, our time comes to an end at a certain time of our lives, which we don't know. We are not God. And that this has happened to us, but, you know, it doesn't need to happen to all of us, and all of us don't get the virus the same way. Some of us have different, you know, get different symptoms, etc. And just make sure that you also pray with them. I think that is very important, that you'll be able to pray with your children with regards to that, and also allow them to mourn the death of their loved one as well, because that is also a process of emotions that they need to work through in order to get to the other side, if that makes sense, you know, to work through it. Same with us as adults, we need to work through our emotions to actually, in that time, maybe we won't be able to realize what has happened and process, but we need to process through it, process our emotions to get to the other side, to actually realize, okay, this has happened, and this is how we need to go ahead from this, or this is how we move forward from this.
A comment here from Kieran Zakir's World. In addition to this, we should always make them realize that they are big enough and need to be independent and trust in themselves. They always love this feeling of being independent and growing big. So, so should we just, you know, just let them be?
Yes, we need to let them be sometimes, you know, and as parents, it's tough because we want to just hold on to them and we want to help them make their decisions, and we want to actually sometimes do it for them and make their decisions for them and do whatever they're battling with, or if they're sickling with something, you want to actually do it for them. But as parents, we also need to let go, and we need to realize that they are human beings, and they need to also sometimes make little mistake for them to learn, you know, because that's what we needed to do. So, yeah.
And I noticed that when you do things for them all the time, they sometimes rebel because they want to do it themselves, and you're just always there doing it for them. So they want to show you that I can do this. I got this. So
Yes, that's so true. And also, you mustn't do something for your child that they can do for themselves. So obviously age appropriately, if your child can get dressed, let them get dressed. You don't dress them if they can get dressed, because sometimes we try and baby our children and then they stay babies. But if you really want another baby, rather have another baby and then treat your toddler the way that your toddler needs to be treated. Let them dress themselves, let them wipe their own bum.
Yeah, no, that would be great if they can manage to do that. Timan, thank you so much for your time. Please share your contact details with us once again.
Awesome. So you can take a look at our website at www.munchkins.me. That's MUNCHKINS.me. And you can get hold of us, or you can get hold of me on 067 400 7635. And we also have coaches throughout South Africa, as well as we do international calls, virtual consultations as well, coffee consults, as well as home visits. And we are also very careful when we do that. We wear our masks, we sanitize, we practice social distancing. So yeah, get hold of us to help you with routine, structure, just getting your new parenting tools to be able to empower you as a parent and just change your family dynamics. And that's what we do. Or any sleep issues, very important. We all need our sleep, especially now with school starting.
Right. Thank you so much once again, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Timan Esterhuizen, a parenting coach from Munchkins, and you can visit their website, munchkins.me, if you'd like more information or if you would like assistance on any issue that you're currently facing. They do have parenting consultants, parenting coaches all over the country, and once you go to the website, you'll get all the information that you need, and you can contact the coach that is nearest to you and take it from there. I mean, we all need a coach every now and then, so yeah, why not? If you have any further comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section, and we'll get Timan to answer them for us. But for now, do stay with us. We will be back.